Bob Sansevier here with John Shipley and Pioneer Press Deputy Sports Editor John Plume. The Twins they've won their first, every series they've had so far, they've won. Where are the flaws? There's some inconsistency now, it seems to be, in some of the starting pitching. Is that the thing they have to worry about the most, or where should they worry?
The starting pitching is all solid. They have, 5 solid guys, but they don't have a closer, a stopper, what they call. And Liriano would be the hope there, I think. And he's the one guy who, we've talked about this, all the Twins starters are kind of the same guy. They're control guys who throw a fastball in the low, maybe 91 miles an hour. They rely on breaking stuff and control. Liriano's the one guy who's got stuff, that could beat you. If he's on, you're probably not going to beat him. So the rest of the guys are all, while they could win every day, they also can get beaten every day, and that's the one thing.
But it's not going to be a 2-1 game for the most part. They do strand guys, but even when they strand guys, they get some runs.
They've been drawing a lot of walks. I like this lineup. I think when it heats up, when it gets warmer out, they're going to hit for more power, and they've hit for decent power. I mean, Tomi's got a couple homers already. I think Kadar's going to have a monster year. Morneau looks good to me. His on base percentage is out of this world. It's like 450 or.
Now you mentioned Tomi as the season goes on. We're seeing a bit of him now. We're going to see more and more. And is Delman going to be the odd man out in this?
Well, I tell you what, if Kubel keeps hitting like this or not hitting like this, there's going to be an issue there, because.
But he has proven power, so he's going to get slack. He's going to get some time.
Yeah. But he's got to work on his at-bats. He starts in the hole almost every time. It's unbelievable. I think there's a book on him. I think the Yankees showed it. He was hitless in the playoffs, and I think people are still hitting him that way. He's a great mistake hitter right now, but he's got to learn to be a good, not like Joe Mauer, not that good, but he needs to hit a pitcher's good pitch.
Now, John, another John, much like yourself, big fella. You got tattoos head to toe like John Roush. Roush has done pretty good. I mean, you think that these when guys get to know him, it could change. He's made some games interesting, some closer, but he has stepped in and done a pretty good job. You have any concerns going, as the season progresses, that he's not going to just keep handling the job for them?
I mean, I think we're going to find out how good John Roush is in this series against the Tigers. And then the series that'll really tell it all is going to be with the Yankees. Joe Nathan had absolutely no success against the Yankees, and the heat's going to be on Roush when he has to go to Yankee Stadium and come in the 9th inning with a 4-3 lead and see if he can hold it, because his predecessor couldn't get the job done.
In a lot of ways, I was more impressed with Roush on Saturday than I was with some of his saves, because he came in and not that he came back and got the win the next inning, but that he held them to 1 run, because that could have been a disastrous inning and they could have lost it right there.
John, jump way ahead. Okay. Let's say they make it to the postseason, which a lot of people, that's the expectation of the organization and fans. Liriano, who are the because you could shorten your rotation to 3 guys and make it work in the postseason. Is it Slowey, Baker, and Liriano? Do they want to get Pavano in there because he's a veteran? What do you see as the 3 if they were to do that? Well,
it's interesting. I think Blackburn's been a good big game pitcher for them. He pitched that White Sox game. I think they lost 1-0 on a homer by Tomi. He won a big game. I don't know if it was game 162 maybe last year. One of those games he pitched and he started and pitched. Pavano he won game 163. Baker, I don't know. He hasn't shown that he's the big game.
The only thing I'm concerned with Pavano, he can give you some great outings, and
it can be a disaster.
Yeah, it could be a disaster.
Exactly.
Anyway, yeah. John, we'll be talking Twins, I think, at some point the rest of the year.